So for our printing, what we're going to do is we are going to make 3 prints. Okay. We did a watercolor just painting. Can I borrow this?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be too wet to print on yet. So kind of set that off to the side. Today, I want you to make one really, really good print on just a plain white piece of paper. Okay. So I've got stations set up over here and over here. We should be able to do 12 people at a time. And when you get over to the station, what you're going to do is you're going to take some of the ink. You don't need a lot of ink, but you're going to put it in like a little line across the top of this. Why am I doing that, do you think? So I can roll it out, right? Then you're going to take some of this gooey stuff. It's pretty gross looking. And you're going to take just a tiny bit and add it right here in front. Not very much. This is something that slows down the drying time of your ink and gives you better prints. Okay. Then you're going to peel, or you're going to take just a little bit of that ink down here. You don't want to take the whole mess of it that you put on there. You just want to take a little bit at a time. The point of this is not to cover this whole thing. It's just like a roller, like a paint tray if you were painting your basement. So this is where the paint would go. Does that make sense? You can see I'm not getting my corners very good, so that's what I'm trying to do. Notice I'm not going back and forth like this. Why am I not doing that? Because you're not going to get this part if all you do is go back and forth. So you have to kind of pull it and pick it up. And I know I'm not getting that corner very well, so I'm taking a little tiny bit. There we go. Now, if you have really big chunks on your brayer, which is what this is called, then you're going to have like really thick ink, and when you roll it on here, it'll fill in the areas that you cut away, and it'll make it kind of messy. So you're going to kind of work your way around. Listen really well. You might have to come back and refill your brayer. Work along your edges. Now, it's really important that when you're doing this step, you don't hold it like this at an angle, because then it will, like the little white areas will catch the ink from where you have it at that angle. You want to make sure it's flat as you are adding the ink to it. If you're one of the first people over here, or if it's like your very first time putting ink on it, then sometimes it takes a little bit more. And then if you do a second or third print, then it usually doesn't take as much. Okay. So we're setting this aside. We're not printing on that quite yet. You're going to take a piece of paper, and you are going to, it doesn't matter where you put it on the paper because we can trim it down later. But it's really important that once you drop it, you don't move the paper. Why? It'll smear it. Then on the back, you can actually kind of see where it's coming through if you're really close. But you have to kind of go along your edges really well. I'm not like putting a ton of pressure. I'm not doing this. You don't need to do that. Just gentle. Just make sure you get your edges really well, and then your center as well. Now, if you take a corner and you slowly pull up a corner, you can kind of see if it's not printing very well in an area, and then put it back down and maybe rub a little bit more right there. But if you are taking the whole thing up like this and looking at it, then it's going to be really super hard to line it back up and get a better print. So you just kind of get that one shot. So if you get a really good print your first try, congratulations. That doesn't happen very often. I make it look easy. I'm sorry. But if you need to try for another print, then go ahead and do another one. Okay. But I want you to aim for one really good print on just your plain white paper. Sound good? Okay. So come on over when you're ready.